Swami Jyotirmayananda in Miami, Florida. Today is June the 12th, 2013, Wednesday evening, and tonight Swamiji will lecture on Yoga Vasistha. This is series 2010, class number 271. And now, Pujya Atman Shri Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji.
Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namam. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha in Upashama Prakarana Section 63. A profound insight into who am I. That insight is being given through a dialogue between two great kings, Suraghu and Parigha. Both were friends in their earlier days. Later they were all both lived different lives, faced different challenges. Parigha practiced a lot of austerity. Suraghu received instructions from a sage Mandavya and practiced a lot of Vedantic inquiry, reflection. Both of them attained enlightenment. And after a lapse of a period of time, a long period of time, they have come together. Parigha, in course of his conversations with the king, inquired into whether the king had attained enlightenment. The questions he had asked were, are you always immersed in samadhi? And Suraghu explained that the question of going into the samadhi and coming out of it doesn't arise in me. Enlightenment is not something you get into. You stay there, then you get tired and get out of it. It's a perpetual attainment. For easy understanding, think of the sun up there in the sky. It's all shining. Think of the reflected sun in a jar of water. All individual beings, souls, they are like reflected suns. A jar of water is a mental process. Everyone, through the mind, is trying to filter out, who am I? I'm using figurative language. Everyone has come to an awareness. And a sense of, this is my identity, this is what I am. But no matter whatever may be your concept of who am I, for every reflected sun, the reality is the sun. So you have to think of getting out of that water business. Also you have to think of predicament of being in that water. If you are in that water, water will go on changing. according to the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. Tamas means darker water. Rajas, shaking water. Sattva develops little clarity. The reflected sun has different type of experiences led by the three gunas. And the end result of a whole life existence doesn't give to the reflected sun the ultimate fulfillment. Led by karma, one bucket is broken and there is a shifting into another bucket. One embodiment goes, the soul moves into another embodiment. Mind has now a different wiring, a different way of operating. But as long as mind is there, soul goes on moving from body to body. Will there be a perfection, a rest in this process? No. As long as you are just a reflected sun, you are never perfect. And all that you acquire is not the reality. The real movement then, therefore, is the question, who am I? The reflected sun gets engrossed into that internalized reflection. That's the subtlety of Vedantic meditation. Your mind is focused on, who am I? www. Who am I? Where am I? Why am I? As long as these three W's are there, is a big website. Break this website. So keeping that in view, the question, who am I, is an engrossing question. It's a profound question. Its impact is on your life. Instead of just living your life with lots of mental distress, agitations, you live your life with a mind that brings down fragrance of divine spring. Sheetalamand Sugandh. Your life becomes an ideal life, inspiring many lives. And at the same time, at the deeper level, you are not confined to the jar. You are not the reflected sun in the jar. Even though you appear, all other jars looked into it. Yes, you are there. But your experience, I am the sun. Therefore, I am all reflected suns. So every reflected sun that comes close to it receives a divine love. Because there is no partiality or discrimination. This is a general feature of an enlightened sage. Now I will continue and will give you more insight. Parigha says, O king, indeed you have attained the highest. Your antahakarana, the inner mind in four aspects. Man, buddhi, chitta, ahamkar. I have explained yesterday. Mind is your conscious mind. Buddhi is the reasoning, intellect that rationalizes, evaluates. Ego in you creates a sense of this is me, this is mine. Unconscious in you stores. All the four together, we may simply say just mind. Raja Yoga likes to say it, mind stuff. Stuffed up mind. This mind becomes sheetal, cool. The receptacle of coolness is in your very unconscious. Unconscious is not cluttered with so many impressions. The unconscious is free of all troubles, free of ignorance. This being so, you are not egoistic. And your intellect becomes clear. In brief, inwardly you experience profound peace, supreme rest. The soul has come to a state of experiencing absolute rest. Otherwise, until this state, the soul has never rested, has gone on from bucket to bucket. Every situation is transient. Recall the statement of Lord Jesus. He becomes jealous of birds and everybody. Everyone has nests to rest. Referring to himself, he said, but this Son of Man, referring to the divine Son of God, has no place to lay his head upon. Even the foxes know where to lay their heads. That restful state, aram, absolute terms we use are aram, viram, lot of ram. That's your abode. The resting abode for a river is the ocean. The resting abode for a reflected sun is the sun. In brief, when you realize I am, not the body, not the mind, I am that you have discovered the absolute rest. Then your antahakarana, the entire heart and all its aspects, experiences coolness. The feeling within you blossoms into a full moon. Your heart becomes like the sky, the firmament of the heart shines with the nectarine presence of the full moon. It's figurative language, but you must realize these are the things that help you in your meditation. If you think of spirituality in a mathematical way, then it doesn't help you. Or think of it in the poetic language. that touches your heart. Think of the heart has become the sky. And the bliss is there like the full moon. That gives you a good setting. O King, you are extremely sweet because cosmic love is surging within your heart. You are Sheetal, extremely cool in a world that is constantly agitated. Things are constantly changing. Threefold troubles are always there. Trouble arising from within your body and mind. Trouble arising from people and objects around you. And acts of God. Since the beginning of creation, this has been the style of the world. The threefold troubles haunt everyone. The human heart does not have that coolness. But if you attain enlightenment and understand the meaning of the world, the divine within you expresses like a full moon. No longer are you haunted by the threefold miseries. Therefore, all the scriptures are recited, Upanishads especially, with the chant of peace 3 times. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May there be peace for the subjective trouble. May there be peace for the objective trouble. May there be peace for acts of God. And as you begin to experience that threefold aspects of peace, now your mind has the possibility to get involved with the profound inquiry, who am I? And break down this website. Why do we say breaking down website? Because when you say, who am I? Where am I? Why am I? Where term relates to space. Question implies you are asking a question like, at what place was the world created? At what time was the world created? The question becomes like, at what time was created? At what place was created? And there is contradiction. You are involved in a mysterious complex. From simple point of view, what I am leading you to understand, that time, space, causation, they are not realities. Think of your dream. In your dream, you are experiencing time, but that time is not real. You are experiencing space, that is not real. You are experiencing a causation. Things you are experiencing have a cause. There is always past, present, and future. That also doesn't exist. So www doesn't exist. One who is enlightened has gone beyond these limitations. Parigha continues, you are like the vast ocean. Profound. Ocean that is free of all agitations, free of winds, calm, with boundless depths. You are like that. Subtle point to enable you to understand that consciousness within you evolves the entire world. And as well as the entire world can get immersed in that consciousness. And that consciousness, like the vast ocean, swallowing up mountains like the Himalayas, and staying very calm, not even belching about it. To understand that simile, think of, from your consciousness, the dream world arises. How big is the dream world? Immense. But consciousness nibbles it, gulps it down into its stomach. You wake up. No indigestion. Let me give you similar. You look into a calm lake and you see forest nearby is reflecting in the lake. The sky is reflecting. Birds are flying, they are also in reflections. Your mind can see an amazing expansion of so many things. But all that is only reflection, not reality. The lake alone is. When mind becomes enlightened, the divine self alone shines forth. Because the mind itself is not a reality. The role of mind is just like the sun passing through a cloud. The role of mind is like a cloud. Passing through the cloud, the rays of the sun create so many changes, like rainbows, refractions of light, and so forth. The cloud may go on showing variations of phenomena arising from the sun. But there is another way also. Cloud may allow the sun to pass through it, just a ray. The moment the ray passes through a cloud, cloud itself begins to dazzle in a special way. And there develops within the cloud a figurative language, a kind of self-destruct type of attitude. Cloud looks at itself, it's so happy. Light is pouring everywhere. And then allows itself to dissolve. This dissolving process is enlightenment. The climax of the dissolving process, cloud is not there. Then you ask yourself, who attained what? knower of the self is like the sky, clear, full of bliss, devoid of the dark clouds of ego. The role of ego is always creating stress, dark clouds. Things are never what you want. Led by ego, there is always, you are in a world that's never satisfactory. Something goes wrong. 90% you have made things perfectly like it. 10% can upset everything. Not even 10%, 1%. You create a wonderful plate of dishes, but one little flea doing a backstroke. Spoils all that. But, O king, you are. Your heart is like the wintry sky, free of clouds, full of joy. You continue to maintain your mind in a state of equanimity during prosperity and adversity. When things come to you which are desirable, that's called isht. Things that are desirable, when they come to you, everyone feels so joyous, elated. But things that you love, if they are taken away from you, everyone feels distressed. Mind swings constantly to like and dislike, to joy and to sorrow, a sense of gain and a sense of loss. And there comes a state when you can't differentiate between real and unreal. Again, both terms, real and unreal, are unreal. But still there is certain practical difference. As long as you live your life, there's practical reality. That practical reality you should not view as unreal in an immature way. And that even science tells you that. Science tells you everything is atoms and electrons. That doesn't mean that anybody can just come through any wall because everything is electron and so why should I go through the gate? Walk into the wall. Everything has a proper context. As long as you are dreaming, you can't get out of the dream into your waking world. In dream, you follow the dream reality. When you wake up, the entire dream moves away. Again, the understanding the world is unreal has to give you an inner nourishment, that you are not being drained because of the world. The world can't enrich you, the world can't make you impoverished. That sense has to dawn within you. Then you are enjoying your life in a profound way. But if day by day you are living in a world where you don't know what's going to happen, the world is going to give me some fantastic situation, and I will be so happy. And pushing at the idea the world can do something contrary as well. And that also is not a matter of big imagination. No matter how much you gain, you are a mortal personality. Therefore, should a person live with that, a constant swing of the mind, gain and loss, things that will delight you and things that will take your delight away. But what I was leading you to understand, there is certain reality about things come to you, things taken away. But when a mind becomes too much weakened, then it is not dealing with reality. No matter how things are, mind experiences its grief, its sorrow. And put it in a more mathematical way, people live more, 90% of their mental experience is in the world of illusion, imagination. Very little is facing the reality. And if you start facing reality in a mature way, you realize even that reality is Maya. O king, your intellect has come to recognize what is essential and what is non-essential. Day by day you live. What is essential? Have you done your japa? Have you turned your mind to God? Have you felt divine presence? Have you have a little touch of divine love? These are the indications you are living your life in a perfect way. You are living your life with purpose, with meaning. But if you do not have in your day-to-day life these experiences, your life is just wastage. You are living to find a time when you will have your dreams fulfilled. You are a dream chaser. You are not living. To be a yogi is to start living. And to living means go on discovering yourself like the sky. I'm the sky. And not be thwarted by all the clouds and all things that exist in the sky. So they cannot affect the sky. Clouds can be of different types. The sky remains unscratched. And the sky holds all types of clouds in a loving way, gives a space to them. The sky is an interpenetrating existence of all the clouds, and yet it's untouched. developing that type of inner awareness that even though the world seems to grip you, but actually you have gripped the world. And even though I have gripped nasty things with a lot of muck, yet you are the sky. Nothing touches you. That's the ideal towards which you are building up your inner feeling and understanding. During praise and censure, when some people praise you, then there are others who criticize you. You don't live your life just to secure praises.